Now, back in 1984, I heard someone say things are much better then than they were today. I'm not sure what that means because then would have been 84, so things were better before then. But for me, 1984 seemed wonderful. Now, not so much. 1984 also brought us The Never-Ending Story. And apparently it's still going because it's never ended. So I don't know who's telling the story, but they must be very tired. And they're probably very thirsty from all that speaking, all that storytelling. In the movie, there was a character named Artax. He was a horse. And Artax, the horse, got led through the swamp of sadness by the main character. And while they're walking through the swamp, Artax starts to sink. It's honestly, I mean, as a kid, I was, 7, 8? It was horrible. This beloved character, this beautiful horse, all of a sudden sinking and drowning and dying in the swamp. No wonder why I'm so screwed up today. Poor Artax. Nobody has to go through that. No one should have to go through that. But they taught us young that sometimes you got to go through the swamp of sadness. But the thing about the swamp of sadness is you don't have to let it consume you. You can keep going, keep fighting. Just keep on going, keep your eyes on the horizon. And they try to encourage Artax to do that. But it's too late for good old Artax. The sadness starts to consume him, and he sinks down and dies there. And I think many days we face our own little swamps of sadness, But really, it comes down to endurance, which is not an easy thing, but you have to endure, survive. And I think a lot of it is perspective. And for me, it's changing the way we look at things. Trying to imagine ourselves in a different position in each situation. Try to figure out how other people feel about things. This is probably why I take so long in traffic. I like to just let people go. It's not worth fighting over. I just want us all to be able to go. So if that helps by letting you go first, just go. I just don't want to have to fight over it. Don't need any misery. I don't want to sink in the swamp of sadness. The other things I have here are these brand new sunglasses. These are fancy. They're blue. And so they make everything that you look have a light blue hue. And there's different colors that I've also purchased, and I shall soon show them to you. We're rhyming today. That's fun. But our perspective does help us in how we approach a situation. It changes us in many ways. And with my blue sunglasses, I have no gray days. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Where's my man Willie Nelson? Love him. Now, I know that there's still gray days. I know that the swamp of sadness is sometimes still around me. And choosing not to look at it, not to deal with it, isn't so much ignorance, because I know it's there. But it's taking control of letting it have an effect on me or not. It's giving the swamp of sadness those feelings of misery and doubt and despair. It's choosing to give it power or not give it power. And yes, my little blue sunglasses may seem like a trite little weapon in the battle against misery, but I'll tell you what, it helps. I've always found that soothing colors kind of help me deal with things, There's a lot to deal with in this human experience. Lord knows it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. I suppose in life, we're all doing it the best we can, but it isn't easy. And people want it to be easy. And if it's not easy, they just want to give up. And I'm not speaking regarding suicide and such, because I'm not saying that is an easy way out. It's unfortunately very difficult all around. And for somebody to get to that point, things have been difficult. So I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this life that we go through is not an easy one. And a lot of times you give people advice about how to try to make things better. Excuse me. And they don't want to take it because it's not easy. Things that are worth doing, we often have to fight for. We often have to struggle through. And if we can find little things to help us through the little swamp of sadness and to not give up, whether they be magic blue sunglasses or whatever it is for you, find something to help you through. Little creature comforts, little ways to change your perspective. Either trying to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, looking at things through a different lens, so to speak, sometimes figuratively, sometimes literally. But whatever it is, make sure that you don't lose hope somewhere in the middle of the swamp. Keep your eyes on the horizon and just keep making slow but steady progress. There's another Willie Nelson song that he does called Still Is Still Moving to Me. It's done with Toots Hibbert from Toots and the Maytals, who are a reggae band, who I always mispronounce their name. But yeah, Toots Hibbert, Still Is Still Moving to Me. Wonderful duet with Mr. Willie Nelson. And yeah, sometimes just not losing traction, just not going backwards is somehow still moving. And I think there's some comfort in that too. On days where it feels like, man, it was all I could do to just to stay in the game today. That's not a loss. That's still a win. May not be the win you want it to be, but over time, you start feeling better. You start making small progress. And then small progress becomes bigger and bigger steps. And eventually, hell, I gotta believe we win, right? Because if not, why are we doing any of it? You gotta take the sweet and sour in this life, but you don't have to let the sour consume you. You don't have to get sucked down in the old swamp of sadness. So whatever it is, my friends, that keeps you moving forward, whatever that magic little thought is that you keep somewhere nestled within your brain or somewhere deep in your heart or your soul, whatever it is that gives you hope, hold on to it, damn it. Hold on to it with all your might. Sometimes that may be the only thing you have. Good thing being a little bit of hope. Sometimes the only thing that you need. Most times. Here's to you, my friends. Keep going. This one's for Artax.